Hey everybody, I'm Nick Griffin here, and welcome back to The Witness. If you might have guessed, I literally stopped last recording and started this one. My camera was even in the same position. Let's get started on this stupid puzzle, shall we? So we gotta solve these, we gotta get a good maze, we gotta solve the maze real nice and fast. And hopefully this will not be a pain in my ass. Though, for various reasons, I don't think that'll be true. For many reasons, I believe this will in fact be a pain in my ass. Really? This puzzle's being hard? What the hell is going on here? No. I'm solving this puzzle and then I'm restarting because what the hell's going on here? This is what's going on. Fuck it. No, I need every second. I get through those puzzles really fast. Those puzzles at the end super suck. Like, I need every second because of those puzzles at the end, and that's basically the only reason why I need those. What? What? Why is this puzzle suddenly tripping me up so hard? Because I can't... God damn it. If it's a good maze, I won't restart. This is not a good maze. This is not a good maze. I really hate that how good the maze is an important factor here. I really don't like it. I'll go so far as to say that about this challenge already. Like, I get that it has to be randomly created, and I get that you're supposed to apply what you learn here to the maze, but that's still... What? This is not a good maze either, but fuck it. Oh my god, why? So I can't do that, and that's wrong. And I can't get back across once I do. I'm getting really mad. You can't spend more than like 15 seconds on one of these puzzles. Is the real problem, because it's not 10 minutes. It's more like 5 minutes. In fact, I'm gonna look. It basically started right at 4 minutes on my recording, 4:04. That doesn't include the editing time of the addition stuff, so you might have to watch that yourself. I'm also getting totally hamstrung by the fact that I'm using a mouse. Okay. Holy sweet Jesus, that is literally the best maze ever. This is super easy too. I mean, I guess that's the real thing that bites me about this, is that it's random. And I get that it's random. You don't want people to figure it out and just run with it, right? Dang. Like, you don't want somebody to actually... Wow, I'm getting lost. I should have gotten that one sooner. Nope, we still have one left, and it's this one. It's some really easy puzzles. I don't even have to go back. Which one of these looks solvable? Yep, that damn kitty corner. Jesus, why? Why these ridiculously challenging puzzles all of a sudden? It's gotta be this one. But it's not. Stop sliding me so slowly. I just don't... It's because I'm looking at the white and trying to do the white again. No, you can't do it! We had such a good maze, too! I don't know which one of these is right. I don't. Yeah, you can't do it. Fucking hell. Whatever, we're done. Suddenly, the randomness just amped him up to ridiculously difficult. Shut up. You're not getting to Hall of the Mountain King. We had literally the best maze ever, and I couldn't make it work. We had a whole bunch of easy puzzles, too. Dang, that one was super easy. Tell me how friggin' convoluted is our maze. You know, okay, this one isn't that bad. That's not that bad. Okay, it's not that way. Oh my gosh. That's it, okay. That's not it. So these three... And, okay, there it is. I'm gonna start to hate this song, and that's gonna make me sad. Oh, that worked in a way that I wasn't expecting it to work. problem is I need to go back and look at the maze. Straight one, left one short, up one short. Yeah, I didn't actually memorize that at all. Crap. So left one, no. Right one. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 1, 1. Okay, go until one short. Oh, here we go. 1, 1, 1, 2. No, that's not gonna work. Let's go this way. Okay. Okay, we've got this one again. So we've got that. That's all the low ones. How about the high ones? Okay, we need to go up an extra one. Haha! Suck it! We got the achievement. Challenge completed, and it's one of these. Okay. You did it. All the salt. Took us 12 minutes, and holy crap, I dropped to 10 FPS. What the hell? Okay, I wanted to go the other way. Because this way does lead back to the movie theater. So yeah, that was the challenge. So before... Oh my gosh. I don't know why the frame rate is tanking so hard all of a sudden. I don't know the fastest way to get back to the village. No, there is a way down here. I just don't remember where it is. It wasn't this. I remember finding it. Like, I remember finding it. Because I went, like, on a little bit of an explorative journey. Was it up here? No, because these were practice puzzles. Must have been down below. I remember it being there, and it's going to be shorter. Finding it is probably going to take shorter than doing other stuff. Maybe? I guess not. Well, whatever. It was somewhere. I don't remember where. Oh, it was right here. No, never mind. Okay. Well, I somehow and inexplicably make it back to the theater room to maybe start up this video, which could be something cool. I don't know. Yeah, I'm in the wrong place. Alright, we're going to talk about that last puzzle. So, obviously, it takes you knowing the puzzles pretty well. Well, that's not even true. So my initial thought is wrong. You need to figure out the puzzles again. Like, you just need, you need to figure out how it flows, right? You need to like the big challenges were that getting through the maze required was the maze was given by the table earlier on, and the puzzles in that maze were hidden also. So those were like the two biggest hidden things. Other than that, the general puzzles that you had to do were obvious. It took a little bit of time to figure out that they could be lit in any order, and by it took a little bit, I mean on my second run through, I realized they didn't go in a static order. So figuring out like the strafing path to take so you can see which puzzle's lit as fast as possible took a little bit of time. So there was a little bit of figuring out the mechanics of the puzzle, or the series of puzzles. The fact that you only had to solve one of those three, and that and the other two were fake, was also kind of relevant. So things like that, that was a required thing that you had to figure out. But the puzzles themselves tended to be simple. Now I say tended to because obviously some of those mazes were horrible, or some of the mazes we've seen. And some of the puzzles really, were a stumper. And the reason for all that is the randomness. And I understand completely, 100%. If you have a final puzzle like that, you don't want it to be something that every single time you turn it on, it's exactly the same, because then people can just memorize how to solve it. It doesn't guarantee that the person who's playing is good at the puzzles, or good at figuring them out. Like, that's definitely a thing. That's definitely a concern that they had, obviously. Otherwise it wouldn't have been random. The problem is, being able to check the difficulty of a random puzzle is different than choosing its validity. Like, sure, that was a valid puzzle. Whee! I'm not doing that. All the puzzles that we solved were valid. Obviously, they have to be. There is a solution for every single one of them. However, because they're random, they're random. Like, some of them were super easy. Like, we had the one maze that was literally just run up one side, run down the other, and I was really excited for it. But then, exact same, thing. Something else was difficult. Now, I don't think they had, like, how difficult is this? It's difficulty X. And this one is difficulty Y. Well, we in general want those difficulties to sum up to about the same thing. Like, that wasn't something that struck me as a thought process of theirs. So, I don't really know. Opinion me, right? But I didn't really like the randomness. I thought it was a neat thing. Don't get me wrong. It was definitely neat. But I don't think that I particularly enjoyed... Where are my screenshots? There we are. Sorry, I've got the seam overlay up. You guys can't see that again. Become big. Alright. It's basically super windy. Cool. The Secret of Psalm 46. So yeah, that's my opinion on that puzzle. It was neat, it was a cool challenge, but it was definitely frustrating that
How many of you here have personally witnessed a total eclipse of the sun?
I actually don't know if I have.
To stand one day in the shadow of the moon is one of my humble goals in life.
But yeah, that was my opinion on the challenge.
Was over 30 years ago. On February 26th, 1979, a solar eclipse passed directly over the city of Portland. I bought my bus tickets and found a place to stay.
This is an interesting...
I couldn't get the time off work. Well, anyone who lives in Portland can tell you that the chances of catching the sun in February are pretty slim. And sure enough, the skies over the city that day were completely overcast. I wouldn't have seen a thing. That work I couldn't get out of was my first job out of college. A sales clerk at an old Radio Shack store in beautiful downtown Worcester, Massachusetts.
That's a silly spelling.
On my very first day behind the counter, a delivery truck pulled up to the front of the store. They carried in a big carton, upon which was printed the legend TRS-80. It was our floor sample of the world's first mass-market microcomputer.
Okay, so we're talking about
TRS-80
computers.
Model 1 had a Z80 processor clocked at 1.7 megahertz, 4,096 bytes of memory, and a
Hoo-hoo-hoo.
64-character black and white text display.
That's not even the last one.
Storage was a cassette recorder. All this could be yours for the low, low price of $599.
$600 for a computer back then, man.
I was working in.
Okay, so welcome back. I don't exactly know when I'm going to cut that, but that video, I don't know, somewhere around 10 minutes in, I started getting really suspicious about how long it was. And the answer is super long. And yeah, I was not going to just put that much video of something that isn't mine. I guess. Sorry, I'm stretching. Because I got really stiff just sitting there watching, and I totally was losing track of time. So yeah, that video is super long, and honestly interesting, but not like supremely interesting. And so I figured I would come up to the top of our mountain friend here, where we solved so many puzzles, and are confused by a little bit of what's going on here. But basically get to the pinnacle of everything, the top of everything, to go ahead and give a wrap-up on this game, because even though there are still some environmental puzzles that I have yet to find, and by some, I'm pretty sure I mean a lot, I think I am going to be done with this game. I have enjoyed my time with it. I think it was very enjoyable, but I don't think the time and effort to finish all the environmental puzzles for no other reward than my own completionist. Is there... Oh, right, the saves tell you how many I've completed. So yeah, I don't know exactly where I cut, or where I'm going to cut this up so that you end up here. But I want to reiterate, my feelings on the final puzzle are it was an interesting challenge, but I wasn't a fan of the fact that the randomness was just that random. If you got a whole bunch of easy puzzles, it was going to be fine. If you even got one particularly stumping puzzle, you're basically done. Unless all the others are so supremely easy that it doesn't matter. And the witness has stopped working. Like, the game literally just crashed. So... cool. Well, I can't look... Oh, there it goes. So I'll continue to talk while I boot it up again, so that at the very least, you can see, I can pan around and gesture and whatnot. But yeah, that was my opinion on the last challenge. It was interesting. It was challenging. The time limit was pretty tight, but because of the randomness, I think that challenge fell a little bit short of what I was hoping for. I was expecting like this giant 30-minute gauntlet of here's a puzzle, here's a puzzle, here's a puzzle. You've seen this mechanic, do it again. Like, I was expecting this giant summation of everything that you'd learned into like that last final challenge. Like, there's 2 achievements for this game. I'll read it. There's 2 achievements. You got the ending and you beat the big challenge. And the fact that it was like a 5-minute rush your ass off here, these puzzles are actually really simple, unless we random up a hard one. I just like in that castle over there, I enjoyed the mazes being related to each other or being related to other things. Like, I really liked that. I really liked that aspect, but it just felt a little short to me in terms of other stuff. So I'll take what I can get. I enjoyed it. We got an episode and some change out of it, and overall, I think it was fun. It was entertaining. It wasn't quite what I expected, but it was still entertaining. Now, as for the rest of the game, I have taken the liberty, because I basically had finished the game. I didn't look up any spoilers for the final puzzle, but between some episodes, or between the last episode and this one, I went ahead and read some reviews for the game because I've been trying to keep myself in this giant pocket of ignorance for this game. And I guess a lot of what my opinions were on it, I found some parts mirrored and other parts not. Like, a lot of people really thought that the puzzles would have been better served as a series of puzzles on a tablet. And that's really what they were good for. Uh, to some degree, I can agree to that. I mean, the puzzles are really good for a touchscreen surface. The mouse really frustrated me sometimes. But at the same time, I did enjoy the exploration aspect of the island, the discovering things, the finding the new perspective, as it were. Like, I enjoyed that very much. Now, that's me, personally, because I enjoy exploration. Obviously, I'm playing stuff like, The Long Dark, and, things that have an exploration aspect to them. So, Nautica. Like, those exploration aspects are good, and I enjoy them quite a bit. And when applied to a puzzle game, it's like, here, have some exploration, find some cool stuff, and also you get some puzzles here and there. I enjoyed the different language of the puzzles, like the different symbols meaning different things, all the different mechanics. Like, I can definitely see like one giant monstrous pain in the ass puzzle with everything in it. That would suck. Like, you'd sit there and you basically, like, you'd sketch it out on paper. Like, they'd print it out and be like, okay, figure this out. Like, here's a whiteboard. That said, we didn't actually get that, and I don't know if that's something you really want to do anyway. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's a good final challenge, right? A good, like, test question that recaps everything. But I was entertained, and to me, that's what counts for a game. Wow, I did not notice this person before, I don't think. You're silly. You shouldn't climb this. As I said, the whole, like, you're a developer thing, you're test driving this game, and that's why you woke up on your couch. That's one of the theories that somebody put forth about what the endings of the game mean. It makes sense. I don't know if it's what intended, but it fits the clues. Like, there are definitely a lot of things that you can take away from this, but I guess the thing that most people in the reviews got irked over was the fact that at some point they claimed, like, this game is so amazing, it doesn't waste your time. And they're like, yeah, this game totally wastes your time. And unfortunately, I have to agree with them. The exploration aspect in a puzzle game does feel like a lot of waste of time. But at the same time, if you like the exploration, it doesn't feel like a waste of time. So if you call this a puzzle game and take it as a puzzle game and that's what you were expecting out of it, then yeah, you're gonna not enjoy the game. I think that's unfortunate because, I like exploration, but I believe if you take this as a puzzle game and aren't in it for the exploration, that you will not enjoy it. I just think that's true. Even me, I mean, I'm not exploration enough to finish all the puzzles on the island. Like, I'm just not. So, maybe I'm not that hardcore of an explorationist. But then again, man, sorry, I'm yawning like crazy because sitting there watching that video, just like, it was like slightly engaging, but also, tiring. I think a lot of the stuff hidden around the island to add to the content of the game wasn't necessarily good. Wasn't bad either. But like the USB sticks everywhere that were like just somebody talking, like, it was just sort of this nebulous thing. And there was this giant discussion in some of the reviews about the fact that this game is a puzzle game, but it's really more about perspective and all the, and it makes a little bit more sense now because somebody else thought of this, not me, that all those things are different perspectives, and that's the only purpose that they served. They're just somebody talking about their perspective. There wasn't necessarily a grand overarching unifying theme to the game other than there are perspectives in the world, here are some of them. Also solve these puzzles, some of them require you to alter your perspective. So I guess what I would say about this game, in total, I won't continue to ramble after this, is when it comes to puzzles and puzzle mechanics, it's a pretty solid game. It could be a little bit simpler in terms of like the exploration. If it were taken out, would obviously, like, you'd have a little bit of trouble with some of the things that required perspective, but you also need to approach these puzzles and the fact that they require perspective with that kind of in mind. Some of the reviewers, uh, like, I followed like the quote unquote right path in the game, like from the start to like the mid game when you kind of have a little bit more freedom to roam around the island. Like, I managed to find the things that taught me what I needed to know, and I kind of follow that. But if you ever break sequence, it apparently gets very annoying, very challenging, and it just sort of blah. Now, I was willing to step away from some puzzles that I did not know the answer to, instead of trying to brute force them, for what that's worth. Um, some people don't do that. Maybe that's an advantage, but the puzzles themselves, I think, were good. They were very entertaining. They were enjoyable, and they definitely made me think. And that was why I got this game, which is why I feel satisfied with it. Now, I will say that the story aspect of the game is just this giant nebulous bleh. And I think that's what disappointed most of the people that were writing the reviews that I was reading. Obviously, there were some positive reviews, but positive reviews tend to be very simple. Oh, I liked the game. It was fun. I enjoyed the puzzles. So, to give the critical thinking view, right? Like, if you came into this, even like people who explore, like me, when I explore, like when I explore Subnautica, I'm hoping to find cool things or story elements. Like, that's what I'm looking for. And now I know that some games don't have story elements, but like Subnautica in alpha has a better story than this game, my opinion. Like, there's definitely a neat little idea, like, oh, you're the developer, test playing the game, and you gotta, when you finish, it just starts over because that's how it's coded, and like, yeah, you can kind of sell that a little bit, but not that much, because really it is a lot of collections of perspectives, and some of those USB sticks, what they were saying was very interesting, but it didn't contribute to the whole as much as it was just another example of stuff. So that said, I'm trying to give I don't want to say, oh, I love this game, or oh, I hated this game, but I mean, there are even some aspects of the game that I kind of liked and kind of didn't like. I mean, as I said, I enjoyed the puzzles, but that last puzzle challenge was a little disappointing, to me, because it wasn't what I was hoping for, what I was expecting. But I don't, I'm not necessarily the target audience. I'm not necessarily the perfect audience. I'm a little masochistic when it comes to doing some of this stuff, obviously, because I, did the challenge thing that was hard and whatnot. Overall, I don't think you guys particularly watch me for game reviews. So if you've already tuned out, by all means, you're welcome to. I enjoyed this game. I played it a good bit. I think it was worth the money I paid for it for the amount that I played it. But I would wait for it to be on sale on Steam to pick it up. But that's because I'd wait for anything to be on sale for Steam. So yeah, I mean, that's what I got to say about the game. I enjoyed it. I had fun. It made my mind. It was a brain exercise. It made me think, and that's what I bought it for, and I got what I wanted it for. And hopefully, I managed to entertain you guys in the process, because that was also another goal. At least another goal that I had. Did I actually? Anyway. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed these episodes. I hope that you enjoyed watching me play this game. I hope that you enjoyed me get super frustrated on the challenge. But overall, I would recommend playing this game as long as you keep in the back of your head the caveat that it's a puzzle game with a little bit of extra hurdles thrown in. And I think that's all I really got to say. So I hope you enjoyed this all. I will stop rambling because I noticed that's what I'm doing, but that's what I usually do. I think I've already clicked on that one. So yeah, I don't know what I'll be doing next. I'm recording these episodes before I have finished tallying up and figuring out what I'm going to do from the New Year, New Games. So yes, this episode was recorded 2 weeks early? 3 weeks? No. This was recorded a little bit over 2 weeks before it's being released. So by now I've probably already said what I'm going to be doing. And yeah. Hopefully it's going to be fun. I think it will be. Well, I'll be a little sad to leave this land. I've gotten to know it pretty well. But always time for new things. I will see you all next time, wherever that may be. And until then, keep your gears turning.